Hello, everybody. Welcome to What the Flick, Downton Abbey, Season 4, Episode 5. Alonso Duralde, Dave Rubin. What happened? No, okay. So Bates finally leans on Mrs. Hughes, so now he knows sort of what happened to Anna.
Yeah.
They're being very cagey about not telling him that Lord Gillingham's valet was involved, but he is out for blood anyway, as we discover at the very end of the episode, which is kind of what we figured Bates was going to do.
Yeah, I think the show has taken a real turn as of this episode because Bates's bloodlust now, I think, is really going to be part of it. I'm not sure it's going to jive that well with me, actually, because I get what they're doing there, that this is a good, decent man who's lived through rough things and all that. But now, just there was something about it last night, even with the music, with him walking away towards the end, that seemed very like this is now going to be like Jason from Friday the 13th, like stalking people,
I think they're gonna handle it in a very PBS-y kind of way.
So you don't see a hockey mask.
No. I think this is Julian Fellows in the BBC, and it's going to be maybe more Shakespearean than that, But I think it's going to be within the parameters of what we come to expect.
More Shakespearean than Friday the 13th.
Imagine such a thing. Yes.
All right. Fair.
Let's see. So what else happens? We have. Okay.
What, do you think it's just going back to that for a second? Do you think it's legitimate that she didn't know, or that she led him on for so long without him knowing? That the rape had happened, because it seemed so obvious to me that she fell or whatever it was that they were selling didn't seem legitimate. You know what I mean? She fell, and also everything about their relationship changed in the same moment.
You have to remember, this is 1922. I don't think that was probably such a verboten subject. I think they do a good job of culturally contextualizing why she's being so secretive about it. In addition, not just about the stuff of not wanting to set off Bates and have him go to prison for real this time, but just in terms of her own shame and her own feelings about the thing. So I could see where even one of the more enlightened 1922 males might not have put those, connected those dots. I bought it. I think it works for the time and for the characters.
Yeah.
Lord Grantham, do we think? I couldn't decide if this was magnanimous or just more stupid from him.
It's really hard to tell with this guy. Ben and I were talking about this last week. Could anyone run an estate and run a house and all of this property so inefficiently, constantly, and be constantly undermined at every turn, and seemingly make the wrong decision constantly, and still, demand a certain amount of respect?
Yeah, whenever he comes to a fork in the road, he's almost guaranteed to pick the wrong one.
I feel like they have to throw him something. Like, he has to be right about something at this point. Otherwise, how did this place get run before we started watching?
True. Ultimately, I think I came to the side of, all right, he is being magnanimous. He is appreciating the fact that there is a history to be dealt with, and I think he thinks that the guy's good for it eventually, and that he'll get repaid on the back, the back rent.
Yeah, and of course it does illustrate the idea of the changing world that the younger generation didn't really want this to happen and let the guy stay on his land. And,
but also, as Lord Grantham points out after the funeral, it's like, look, we didn't. It's not like we're kicking you off. We gave you plenty of opportunities to pay. We didn't kick your dad off when he was dying. Yeah. So it's not like we're the horrible villains here. But it's like, dude, you owe me some money here.
You know what I was thinking when he says, all right, so I'll lend you the 50 pounds. I wish they would have put that in context a little bit. What does 50 pounds at that time actually mean? Now, obviously, it meant a lot because it bought the farm, so to speak. But I wish we would have known really. Was that 3 months rent?
Sure,
was that really buying whatever the plot of land was, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, no, that's one of the things every December I like to pull out I have this great annotated Christmas Carol that has a gajillion footnotes in it. It explains every weight and measure and what money was and all the little sort of inside jokes of Dickens, because a lot of times, I think for contemporary audience sometimes in period pieces it helps if you walk us through it a little. Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Alfred trying and failing to become a chef at the Ritz. Do we think that Jimmy waylaid that letter and that's why I got there so late, or is it just good old incompetence?
Oh, you know what? I didn't pick up on that, but I guess he did get the letter, right?
Well, when he gets the letter telling him that he didn't make it, Jimmy's standing there like smoking when the mail guy arrives. I'm like, what? I could be completely reading into it, but that was my,
Well, I didn't put that together, but look, they weren't going to get rid of him immediately, and I think it also helps the story for Mosley.
Sure.
By the way, that poor guy.
Always everything that can happen
guy.
to Mosley.
I mean, finally he accepts that this is truly his lot in life, and then he still can't.
He is the schleprock of Downton Abbey, like just the cloud over his head constantly. It's a disaster. That poor sap.
It's rough. It's rough.
Do we think that the new gardener stole? The Countess Violet's letter opener, or are we going to find out that was just a misunderstanding?
I think it probably was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I have to say, I really like Mrs. Crowley. She's really someone that is, she lived through the death of her son, and she's consistently trying to do the right thing. And I really do like the dynamic between her and the Dowager.
Yeah.
I feel like they, in a weird way, they've sort of created just like a really funny dynamic between the two of them, and the quips back and forth are great.
I think they have gotten to a place of mutual respect, but they're still so completely different that there's some pleasure to be had in goofing on each other and goofing on that difference between them. You know?
And she also brings out, I think, the humanity in the Dowager that some of the other people don't, because of
because they're terrified of her.
Exactly, but there's a little more bitingness with the two of them, and I really like what's going on there. But the letter opener,
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be behind a drawer or something.
I assume Bates will kill whoever.
With the letter opener.
With the letter opener.
And then you've got, I'm wondering what Rose's plans for the birthday party, if they involve, I know a fabulous singer from London we need to bring in so we can get that guy back, or maybe, I don't know.
Right. Is he going to come back, do you think? The
there was
singer?
so much of him that episode, I can't imagine they would just sort of dangle him and then remove him.
Yeah. And Rose, she wants a bigger world. She'll find it.
Definitely. And now the guy who shows up, who's surveying the local estates, I couldn't remember if we had seen him before on this show. Was he like one of the World War I vets, or was he an old suitor of Mary's? Like when he pops up, they all know who he is. I'm thinking, are we supposed to know who he is, or because I don't always make all the connections for the million characters.
If you're supposed to know, dare I say, I don't. Okay. So I don't think so. But maybe he had come through the house.
Right.
So many people come.
Well, yeah, because I for example missed when one of the things that when they keep referring to the weekend that Tom was so uncomfortable. When he's dancing with the Duchess, she makes some reference. Oh, do you know Lord and Lady, Fluff and Fold, whatever? And they're the people whose house he was sort of involved in blowing up. I was told later by my friend Erin, who follows this stuff. She was also the one who told me about the plum being the semi-morning. So she should be doing these. Frankly, if she weren't in New York, I would drag her in because
Lord and Lady Fluff and Fold. Yes, they own the #1 cleaning establishment in all of Downton.
So what else? I'm trying. There's so many damn characters. Do we think Edith's pregnant?
That would give us a good twist. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna go with it.
Because she's ducking off to mystery doctors in London.
Yeah, right. She can't go in town. She can't go.
No, she's not gonna doc.
Way, does the doc have a crush on Mrs. Crowley?
Well, yeah,
what's going on there?
You'll remember at the County Fair episode, I think that was the Christmas episode from last year.
Yeah.
Like he almost proposed to her, and she very deftly kind of kung fu'd him out of it.
But she seems so blind to it now, or something. Like he's still been dropping hints, and she.
Right. Well, I think she feels like the matter is settled. Like, well, we're friends now, and that's a good thing that we're friends. We're friends, and but he is clearly still sort of like looking for the window now that she's closed the door.
They make a good couple.
They would be great.
They care about the same things.
Absolutely.
They've worked together.
Yes, and they are unattached, and of a certain age. Yeah, no, I think that would be terrific.
What do you make of Thomas at this point? Ben and I were talking about this last week. I almost feel like it's becoming a little too contrived, that everything he does is contrived and manipulative, and everyone knows it, yet they sort of willfully go along with it.
Well, with Baxter, you have her being his confidant, and at the same time, butter wouldn't melt in her mouth with everybody else. So like he learned from the O'Brien thing of like, she's going to be my stealth nice person. Yeah. But yeah, it's almost lacking a drive at this point, except that, well, I'm the villain. I got to go out and do some villainous shit,
Right.
That was a conversation where I thought, okay, where is this coming from, and what bug is up his ass? You know, he's certainly climbed the ladder downstairs as much as he's wanted to. At some point, when does he become the establishment? You know, and stop wanting to fuck shit up all the time?
Right. That's the part, and I think he specifically was saying that yesterday about you know, we just have to. I'm the foil here, sort of. That's sort of what he was getting at, and it's like, well. But what's the point? What's the end game here? Like, I get it, like you like to turn people against each other, but what are you really going for at this point? Are you going to replace, you know, the Lord Grantham? Like, what are you going for here?
I don't know. Maybe he's just meant to embody, like, you know, the encroachment of modern times or something. Yeah, it has gotten a little bit past motivated, you know, villainy to just plain old, well, someone's got to do it.
Right.
Otherwise, everyone's too nice.
Yeah. You do need some bad people, of course.
No, absolutely, but write them so that they have that they're coming from somewhere and that there's a reason for them to be there.
Yeah.
Anything else? Can we think of?
Did anything else happen? I don't know. I'm just happy to be watching a show that there aren't any explosions. That's really become my driving force of the show. That it's pleasant and it, you know, makes you think and gives you a little something about a time that's long gone, and just there isn't a lot of explosions.
No,
and I find that really
I have to say,
nice.
my Sunday nights have gotten really interesting, veering from True Detective to Downton Abbey to Girls and Looking. It's like there's a whole spectrum being represented there.
You got a lot going on there.
Definitely, yeah. So these are good times to be talking television.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back to do more of that next week. Thanks for joining us.